Hi Mrittika, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also good. Thank you for coming to this interview. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your amazing performance in the World Youth
Thank you.
in Romania. So, like, how was the feeling?
Yeah, it was good actually, but I think I could do much better than this
Wow.
because I always have the opportunity to in top three to get the medals. So, but
Mhm.
I missed it somehow. But yeah, still it's okay.
No, it was actually a very good performance, which I also felt. Like you missed the top three by a very small margin, but
Yeah.
overall your performance seemed very strong, and you were also playing very good games. So, can you just tell a little bit about the World Youth and like how was the atmosphere? It was probably such a like big tournament. It was your first time in such a big
Yeah,
tournament.
actually, it was amazing for me because also it's my first time to for the World Youth and going out with all of the teams and playing with so many of players from the different
Right.
countries. Also, the so many strong players
Mhm.
there. So, and it's actually for the first time for me. So it was a very good experience for me, and overall, I felt that it's amazing.
Right. So, of course, and I think you have never been to Romania before, right? Or was it the first time?
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
of course, right. So, a new country, and of course, the culture is also different there. And how did you feel that the tournament organization was, like the playing halls and overall organization?
Yeah, it's very good, and all those arbiter, those who are actually attending us, they're very friendly with us and also very helpful. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's overall very good.
Right. So, can you just tell a little bit about on the under 14 squad, like who were your teammates and who was the person who was coaching you or was the coach of the Indian team during the tournament?
Okay, in our under 14 groups from here, me,
Mhm.
Anupam and C. Kumar from Kerala, Pragna
Mhm.
H. from Tamil Nadu, and one more girl. She is Amulya Guru Prasad. She lives in Qatar, but she plays for India. She was
Right.
also going there. And from here, we got two coach with us. That is one is Bhagyashree Tips from Maharashtra, and the other one
Mhm.
is GM Shamsundar from Tamil
Right.
Nadu.
Wow. So, of course, the two coaches, both of them are very strong and experienced coaches. So, how was your experience working with?
Okay, with them it was actually excellent, and they helped me a lot in every round. Even also around, they also even asked me that whether if I have any problem, then I could just go to them without any worries, and like they will help me at any time.
Right.
So it's very good, and it's a great opportunity to work with them. Yeah.
Right. Of course. So, two very strong coaches and for any player who is like growing like you are who is growing as a player, it is very good to have such strong coaches in presence. So if you don't mind sharing, can you just tell us a little bit about what was the training that you kind of did during the World Youth?
During the worlds, actually during the games, I
Mm.
also getting training from my coach from
Right.
here. Actually, for the last 2 months, I worked with GM Shaptoshi Roy from
Okay,
Kolkata
okay.
for the World Youth. So in there, I also getting a help from him. So in every round, he helped me a lot, and also they are always there for me and for everyone actually. So
Right,
yeah, I get so many helps from them.
right. So like before the rounds, would you like just sort of go through the openings or maybe just look at some of the lines your opponent might play, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So what was typically the time in which you got to know the pairing of the next round?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Right. So I was saying
I
that,
didn't get that.
right. So what was the time, like once the round is over, what
Hmm.
was the time when you got to know the pairing of the next round?
Basically, the next round pairing is always came the 8 p.m.
Mhm.
From the Romanian's time, and actually, in the after getting the pairing, I didn't prepare anything at the night. I just
Okay,
sleep
okay.
early every day. So after wake up the next morning, I prepare everything.
Wow. So this is a very interesting part, I feel. So there are a lot of chess players who have interacted with. and some of them, they are actually more comfortable working in the night. But you are actually, you want to sleep early at night and you want to like wake up and then prepare in the morning, right?
Yeah, I always prepare in the morning. I didn't do anything in the night. I just sleep early.
Right. So like after the game, you take some rest, you get the
Yeah.
dinner, and then you go to sleep. In the morning, you like take a look at pairings and of course
And
prepare
everything.
it. Right. So of course, overall, it was a very powerful performance from you. And I would like to look at two of your games. So let me just. This is your game against Nguyen Hien. So I think that was from round 3, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, did you have any sort of specific preparation going into this game?
Okay, so against her, I just watched some of her game before before going for playing the round. I
Mhm.
saw that she played d4, but as a black, I played semi-slab, but I didn't get any of her games against semi-slab. Actually, she didn't have many games,
Okay.
so that's why I just know that she played d4, so I actually prepared everything against d4 that maybe she could play, because I don't know which line she is going to play. So I prepared everything against d4, and yeah, then and after that going, I actually play over the board.
All right. So, like, there was this game was mostly over the board, yeah. So
Yeah.
no sort of too deep
No.
opening preparation or something. Right. Okay. So let me just flip the board actually, and we can look at it here. So your opponent started the game with d4, as you said, and d5, knight f3, knight f6, and e3. Just played bishop f5 and c4, e6. Whenever you feel that there's a critical moment during the game which we need to discuss or talk about, you can just stop me and tell me, right?
Okay.
All right. So here queen b3, and you have to defend
The b7.
this. Right. So you just played here. So queen c8, knight c3, and c6 in this position. Okay, pretty standard stuff so far. And knight h4. So in this sort of position, I guess what white wants to do is like take this powerful bishop, and of course, then white will have the bishop pair advantage.
Yeah.
Right. But you play bishop g6, and now your idea is if white does play knight into g6, then probably we will take h into g6.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And then you're getting this open h5.
Yeah, and I have no any type of problem, so it's just okay.
Right. Absolutely. And like even though white has the double bishop pair, like okay, this bishop is not doing too much.
Yeah.
So what happened in the game is after bishop d2, you played bishop e7, he took knight g6, h6, and rook c1. So here you played knight bd7 and just cd5, ed5, and bishop e2. Okay, in this position, I found your move quite interesting. Here you played queen b8. So what was the idea behind this move?
Actually, here I was just asking her that what is she going to play to just defend her h1, whether she's going to play h3 or g3 or something else. I just know that what she's going to do. Then it depends on that. I'll just play the castle on the king side, or I'll just push my pawn here to just break on her king side. So I'm just testing that what she is going to play here.
Right. So like it sort of depends on the decision of white on which side you will castle, right? So okay, one possibility white has already cancelled out, that is castling queen side. So that is not possible anymore. Either she can keep the king on the center, which is possibility, or she can castle king side. Okay, in this position, she played h3. So now you played a very nice move, which I felt, g5. Now you're sort of trying to break the king side, right?
Yeah.
Right. And do you feel that right now the white king is particularly safe in the center? Or do you feel that if she castles, it will be a bit more safe?
Okay, now actually the main thing is that my king is also in center and she has a double pair of bishops. So if she can just, she can just put her king on the center, and if she try to break the center, then I think it will not be any problem for her. And the main thing is that she can castle here now. So the g4 is coming. So I think if she just play normally, and it will not be a problem.
Right. So here she played a move which seems pretty interesting to me. She played king d1.
Yeah, king d1.
Like, is this a good move?
Here actually I didn't expect her to play king d1. I actually expect her to play something like f4 and bishop d3. These are two moves that I consider here.
Okay, so after g5 you expected that she will play either
first. No, first
okay.
Bishop d3.
Okay, first she will play bishop d3.
I mean, she could try to break in the center, because my king is also in the center. So if I castle, then she can castle. It will not have any problem for her. So she could just have wait there, and she just I think she played king d1 too harshly. She could have just wait.
Right. So I think she was probably a bit scared about the incoming attack on the king side. So like, if, for example, after bishop d3, what you say is that white's plan is something like to e4 and break in the center, and basically she is sort of saying that, okay, my king is in the center, but your king is also in the center. Right. But she played king d1. So I guess the idea is sort of to like castle artificially here.
Yeah.
Maybe something like here and here. So here you just castled. Yeah. And like one move you played g5, and then after king d1 you castled. So like now you feel that the king is a bit awkward on d1, right?
Yes.
Right. So she continued with her plan which she had, king c2. Even if it is a bad plan, that is the plan which she had at the moment. And now you start playing on the queen side. So this is playing on both sides of the board. Right. And she completed her idea, king b1. Okay, now she is castled, but now earlier, while it looked that the king side pawns and there might be an attack on the king side with something like this. Now the king is on queen side, but now even now it is not safe. Now you can play here, just push the pawns. Like, would you say till this point white has made any serious mistake, or is the game like still okay for her?
I think it's still okay for her, because for me to getting a attack on the queen side, it's not easy. I can at least push something like a5 and f4 till, but after that, if I just somehow play b4, then she could have taken the a4 pawn. But still I did that later. But she also have any, she can just do something on the king side. It's not that she doesn't have anything on the king side, but she didn't do anything particularly here. Otherwise, I don't think that I'll get so much of time to just do everything, and she will just sit down. So
right. So like right now the position is sort of a race that who can attack first. So yeah, the game didn't start this way, but right now it seems that there is opposite side castling, right? And yeah, whoever can attack first, they will win the game. So you continued with your plan. You have to try to attack the king, of course, a5. And okay, queen c2 moves like this might be a bit slow. Maybe that was some of the reasons. So a4 and now g4. Idea is, I guess, to just sort of break here. h4 is coming. Okay, now you continue with your idea. Okay, now, yeah, the thing which we were saying. So now there is actually knight takes f4 is a possibility. So is it a complete blunder? I think she played that knight takes f4 in the game, or is it still okay after knight f4?
Okay, after knight a4, actually here as actually confused about two moves here. That's playing directly c5, or other is knight e4. Okay. So my main plan is to play
knight e4 and other is c5.
Then c5. I need to open the c file, then I will get some more attack here. So the c file and a file, these are both open, so maybe it's good for me. But after I just when I just continue watching the knight e4 variation, but after that I saw that bishop a1, and if I play c5, then she could have get that f3 move. So f3, then I need to just back on knight d6 maybe. Yeah, knight d6 and dc5. Then I still have rook c8, rook c8, c6, and maybe knight b6. But I don't like that position very much, because after that she will always get that h4. And if she wants to just open that h1 h file, then I think it might. I mean, I have some problems on the h file, so I just don't want to do that. So I directly played here c5.
Right. So in this position, you directly played c5. So some of the ideas which actually white has, first of all, as you mentioned, is okay. In this position, like not exactly in this position, but f3 is there, then h4 is there. So again, it's sort of a race. So who can attack the king first? So you played c5 here, dc5, and now you go knight e4. So the knight is very actively placed on the square. And now she actually went c6. Okay, c6 and d3 here. d3 is a very nice sort of intermezzo. You're attacking the queen. And you are also just closing the line here, the line of defense. A, b3 she played, and now knight d2, c5. Now it somehow seems like white's play has been a little bit too slow. And like there is no immediate attack coming here. These pawns and these pawns, like this rook is not active right now.
And
But
meanwhile,
here,
I get everything on the queen side.
right, and you got exactly the position which you wanted on the queen side.
Yes.
Exactly. Knight c5, knight c5, okay, b4, and now a very nice move, queen s5. So of course she has to defend against mate, so she played queen f5. Now queen a2 check, king c2, queen b3 check, king b1, bishop f6.
Okay, here I have missed something so easy, that is rook a2. It's a just easy win.
Right, so you don't have to complicate with bishop f6, you're saying. You can just play the move.
I just play rook a2 and it's just winning. And
right.
after the rook f8 and the a1 mate, it's unstoppable.
Right. Okay, what if white plays bishop c3 here?
Then also rook f8.
Okay. Sorry, I missed you.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I missed your audio. Can you say that once again?
I mean, here.
Yeah, in this position, please.
Yeah, here rook f8.
Rook f8, right? And okay, this mate is not stoppable. Okay, so bishop f6 is also, I guess, it doesn't give away the advantage, but maybe rook a2 was a bit faster, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, in this position, she played bishop c3. Now comes a very nice move, knight e4. Okay, the king doesn't have too many defenders, and also there are just way too many attackers. So this. Maybe this rook can also join in somehow later. And in this position, she just decided to end her trouble somehow and just gave away the queen. Queen e4, d4, bishop f6, gf6, and rook c3. So, like when you got this position, were you completely sure that you are winning?
Yeah, I'm just I have full confidence that I'm just winning.
Right. So there's no like counterplay for white as well. There is no attack coming, of course, and maybe this pawn can be a bit of a problem sometime. But okay, the king is just way too weak for anything like that to happen. Right. So queen a2 check, king c2, queen a4 check, king b1. Just to repeat a bit, queen a1 check, king c2, and you just win another rook. So there's nothing else to be done. I guess your opponent could have resigned here, but she played on for a few moments. b5, queen e1, bishop c4, rook a1. Okay, now these are the threats. King b3, queen d1, so rook c2. And after rook c1, she finally resigned the game again.
Yeah,
There's nothing left to do here actually. And like, how happy were you with this game?
Okay, after winning, actually it was quite smooth for me after I played the c5. Yeah, so I was quite happy with that win. it was like I just got everything that I want. It's like a dream position that I want. So
Right, exactly. So, like this is a perfect also demonstration game for showing that what happens if in an opposite side castling position, the opponent does not attack. Like here, our opponent didn't attack,
yeah,
and they just kept playing sort of random moves in the queen side, which did not work out for them. They had to actively attack in the king side, which didn't work out. Right. So this was a very nice game actually. I liked it very much. And now I would like to look at another one of your game which impressed me very much. That is against Charis Peglau.
yeah.
This was in round 8, if I'm not mistaken. So okay, this was of course now round 8 is coming. All of the players are like the there is a fight to the leaderboard, like who can reach it
Yes.
first and all. So you are of course also very tense. You want to win this game at any cost. Right. So in this game, e4, just wait a minute, e4, and okay, your opponent plays the Karo Khan. So, like, do you have a favorite system against the Karo Khan which you play often?
Okay, I normally play the main line, but
Mhm.
she didn't play it here.
Right. So d4, d5, knight c3. And she took d4, knight e4, and knight d7. So knight f3 here, knight g f6, and you do not trade the knights.
Yeah.
Instead, you keep the tension. I guess trading the knights is also fine, but okay, that's another variation. Knight g3 you played it, and e6, bishop d3, queen c7. So, like, can you just tell us that what are the main ideas for white in these sort of structures or in this position, for example? What are your ideas? What are your plans?
Here the mains are, I think, I mean, after castle, I'll just play. The mains are, one is that after a black castle, I have a one idea that is knight g5 and knight h5, and also
Okay.
knight g5 and knight g4, something like that.
Right. So something like knight g5 and knight h5, or you're saying knight g5, then followed by let's say knight e4. So you want to trade off a pair of knights, and ideally, where do you want the pieces to go? Like, where does this bishop belong?
The bishop is on the b1 to h7 diagonal. It's okay for the bishop. Actually, it's also hitting on the h7 pawn.
Cool.
So it's here it's okay. And for the c1 bishop, I actually have an idea to play b3 and bishop b2, then c4,
Okay.
like that.
All right. So the idea would be something like first b3, bishop b2, c4. And at some point, and an ideal scenario, you would like to play d5, and then this bishop will come alive.
Yeah.
In this diagonal. Right. So these are the ideas. Of course, black also has their own ideas and they will try to stop you. So in the game, after castles, your opponent played bishop e7. Okay, she also wants to castle king side. Queen e2, castles c4, b6. She also wants to fiancé to her bishop. Okay, the bishop might come here, or maybe it can also be developed to a6. So knight g5, you continue with your idea as you said. Knight g5, rook e8, rook e1, knight f8. Okay, knight f8 I think is a useful move in these scenarios because okay, there is some sort of pressure on this pawn, and after knight f8 it is usually said that if the opponent successfully plays knight f8, then there is not too much pressure on the h7 pawn. Right. Okay, knight h5 in this position. Knight into h5, queen into h5, bishop g5, bishop g5. Like when you had this position on the board, did you sort of feel that, okay, maybe you're pressing a bit, or did you feel that, okay, this is fine for black?
Yeah, actually, it's I saw but some attacking ideas here, but still I saw that for white didn't have anything much because black had a very good defensive position. So black can anytime play f6 or f5. So the queen will always protect the seventh rank. So
Right.
I don't think that black has any issue.
Right. So black is very solid in this position, and now since there are not too much threats on the king side, because okay, this queen is here, this knight is also defending very well. So maybe now black can slowly develop their pieces and okay, try to figure out a plan of their own. So bishop b7, okay, she fianchettos the bishop, rook e4, c5. Okay, they also want to break in the center, and okay, this bishop is now activated, also hitting this one. Now you play rook g4. So you are also trying to somehow attack on the king side. And she played f5, okay. Rook g3. It's somehow like this rook and this queen and this bishop, they all look very active in the king side. But here queen f7 came, and you just traded the queens. Like, would it have been a good idea to keep the queens on the board? What do you think?
Okay, I could play that, but now that where should I put my queen here? Because the d4 pawn is hanging. The main thing is that. So if I play just queen h4, then knight g6 will come with the tempo, and now my queen is like a very bad position.
Right. So the queen doesn't have too many squares to go to, and something like queen h3 just loses this one.
cd4.
Right. So you decided correctly. You played queen takes f7 check, king f7, d5 now. Ed, cd, bishop d, and bishop f5. So now we have this sort of an endgame where, okay, you have the bishop pair. But this knight will, I guess, become active soon. Come here or here. And okay, black is also fine, I think, in this position.
Yeah, it's equal.
Right. It is fine for both sides. But okay, this is not something which is a clear draw or something which is equal. Here, both sides have to play it out, right? So rook e2, trying to get active on the second rank here. b3, c4, and bishop g4. You just want to remove this rook from here. And rook e8, we just go back. Bishop h5 check, g6, bishop f3. Bishop into f3, rook into f3 check, king g8, and bc4.
Just a pawn.
Right. So
Simple
yeah,
pawn.
you're just a simple pawn up. And also now the position has actually changed a little bit, because now there is no longer the dynamic of bishop and knight for black. Actually, in this position, it is bishop against knight. And this knight right now doesn't seem too active. And it's an open position, right? So the bishop must have some advantage. Right. So, okay, rook c8. And like at this point, you were very sure that you are better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so rook c3, rook e4, just trying to take that pawn. And rook c1, knight e6, bishop e3. So this pawn somehow feels like a bit of a weakness, but it is not really easy to attack it actually. If the knight moves somewhere, let's say the knight tries to do a maneuver where where this knight would ideally come to this square, but then you sort of just have this.
I have just a c5.
Yeah, you just have c5, exactly. You just have c5. So after bishop e3, what happened in the game is your opponent played knight d4. King f1, always try to activate your king in the end game. So following the principles here, knight f5, king e2, knight into e3, f into e3. So now we have a double rook endgame where you are a pawn up. But okay, yeah, the conversion part, it will take time, of course, because as we all know, rook endgames are very difficult. Right. So rook c e8, rook d1. You just nicely take the open d file here. Rook 8 e7, king f3, rook 4 e6. Okay, rook d4, g5. Okay, when I was checking this game live, actually I was watching this game live. There's this option in Lee Chess where you can actually see the games with sort of an engine analysis. And for a long time, the engine seemed to say that, okay, black can hold this, black can hold this. But my point always was that, okay, maybe black can hold this. But from a practical standpoint, it is very difficult because you are always under pressure that you are down upon, right? So e4 in this position now, rook f6 check, king e3, rook f. Okay, some sort of activity is coming for black. So just stop it, rook c2. Now you want to play rook f2 probably, right? Right. So like in this position, is it easier for you to convert if there are two rooks on the board, or if there is one rook on the board?
I think it's easy if I just extend one of my rooks, then that the pressure that I get, I'm having here, that will just increase at much, because this 2 pawns I can defend it with my king, and but if the double rook is here, then it will be, I'll have some problem to just moving my other two rooks. I mean, I need to just get my one rook for the defending these 2 pawns. So I thought that if I just extend one of this rook, then it will be easier for me.
Right. So okay, exchanging one rook, of course, results into a better end game in this position. Okay, in not all positions, of course. So okay, king g7, rook e2, h6. Okay, black is sort of waiting around right now. Maybe black is hoping for you to make some sort of a mistake where you overextend or something like that. So after h6, you play rook d5, rook c1, king d3. Okay, now your king is in sort of an ideal spot, defending both of these pawns. Rook c7, rook d4, rook d1 check, king e3, rook c1. Of course, she doesn't want to trade the rooks because she knows that it will be difficult for her. So king d3, rook d1 check. Okay, bit of a repetition, then king c3. And now there are no more checks after king c2. So rook h1, king b3. Okay, in this position, she just took the pawn. Was it necessary to give up this pawn?
Actually, in this position, I didn't actually thought about rook h1. I just thought that if she take that pawn, then I can just bring my king to the b3, b4, and b5. Then I can have that a7 and b6 pawn. I actually targeting these both pawns, and I also have the idea by playing e5 and e6, like to just promoting somehow in the e4 pawn.
Right. So what you're hoping for is that when she's taking rook into h2, her rook is sort of becoming a little offside, basically. It is not completely in the game. So there are two ideas which you mentioned. One is, of course, to just push this pawn. Strong idea, because right now, if the rook just takes on h2, this rook is a bit helpless in defending. And other ideas, of course, activating your king, maybe even giving up a pawn for that, but activating your king is very important in the end. So something like this could happen. Okay, in the game, what happened is king after king b3, she did take rook into h2, and now you played e5. Okay. As you mentioned, rook h4. Okay, you are happy for a trade, right? So you just took rook into h4, g into h4, rook e4, and yeah, this pawn cannot be defended. So rook e7, king c3. You of course you want to take this pawn. You can take this pawn anytime, but first of all you want to defend this pawn. Then you want to take that pawn. So king g6, king d4, rook d7 check, king e3, king g5, e6, rook e7, king d4, king f6, king d5, and now it is clearly showing that the importance of the king. Basically, it is very active compared to this king. Rook e8, rook f4 check. Just want to push the king over here, so that maybe you can just come here. King e7 and okay. Rook f7 check. It is now even better because it comes with a check.
Yeah.
Right. So king d8, rook into a7. So this is now just completely over. Rook e7, king e7, king into 7, king e5, and okay, there's no hope. After h5, king e4, she resigned the game.
No, actually here I didn't play king e4. It show in the follow chess that I play king e4, but actually here I play king d5.
Okay, right. So it's the transmission. Yeah, it's the transmission move because okay, the black king will be here, white king will be
Yeah,
here.
that's
Yeah, right. So for the watchers of the video who do not know actually about this thing, so whenever a game ends, basically, whoever wins, for example, if white wins, white will put the king on e4
yeah. If
and
black is
black will put it on d5. If black had won, in that case, what will happen is the kings will be on the dark squares, these two dark squares. This and this. And if it is a draw, then they just face each other, right?
yes.
Right. So, okay, this win, of course, gave you a lot of confidence in such an important round, that is round 8 of the tournament. And then you went on to, I think, score even share my screen. Have done even better. Okay, that is always possible, but this is also something to be happy about. This is a good performance.
Yeah, it's not that I'm sad about it, but okay, I just get some chances. I mean, just some opportunities, but somehow I missed it. Okay, I'll just then prepare for the next year.
Right. Of course, and there are also many other tournaments coming up for you as well.
Yeah.
So, what is the next one which you're playing?
The next one is World Youth Olympic that's going to happen in Azerbaijan,
Okay.
and after that, the Asian Youth in Indonesia.
Right. So, this World Youth Olympiad which you mentioned, this is a team event, right?
Yeah, it's a team event.
Right. So, okay, team event, maybe it will be a little bit different than what you're experiencing now because, okay, this is an individual event. The playing style will be a bit different, but okay, in a team event, you have to sort of look at the results of the team and, okay, there has to be a team strategy sort of. Right. So, like, have you played any team tournaments before?
Yeah, like a team. I played one team tournament before. That's it's in Dhaka. That's the is the league tournament. Yeah.
Okay, the Bangladesh League, right, which is happening, and there are a lot of teams and also a lot of strong players are participating.
Yeah. So I once played there, and other than that, I didn't play it.
Right. So, like, how was the experience? Did you feel that it was like very different from sort of playing individual events?
Okay, it's a different, but the main thing is that whatever happened, it will. If you get a better result, then it will help the team. So
Right.
it's like an individual that he wants to win the game. So in sometimes it's just the difference is that if you get a draw, then you can just put it. If it's get a better result for your team, but the main thing is you have to do your best.
Right.
Whether.
Yeah, and that is the same thing about individual tournaments as well. You are also trying to do just your best there. And in team tournaments, maybe okay, a bit of strategy is required, but the goal is the same. You have to do your best, right? And Mrittika, I sincerely hope that you keep continuing and doing your best. You're already playing at a really high level, and I think you are coached by GM Saptarshi Roy right now. So, of course, I hope that you get the best available coaching and you get the best possible support. So, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.